Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this discussion on Generation 4 gender neutrality. This is not a new concept, and as I discuss more with it, uh, you will know probably many people have been talking or thinking about this nowadays. There are numerous researchers, psychologists, biologists, medical practitioners who might be doing a lot of work in the area of gender neutrality. I'm none of those. I'm just putting forward these points so as to create awareness and uh, I mean, uh, we all start thinking towards acknowledging the gender neutrality and making the places around us a better place to live. Okay, so what is Generation 4 gender neutrality? Now, similar to industry maturity levels or technological maturity levels of the product, societies can have maturity levels of gender neutrality. Now, um, on a very primary level, it is about uh, physical needs. So, it's a generation one gender neutrality about physical needs. So, it has the belief that men and women have similar needs of security, rest, nutrition, and clothing. Now, generation two is about psychological needs where there is a belief that men and women have similar emotions like self-respect, need for caring, affection, privacy, sense of accomplishment, etc. Now, generation 3 is about rights. So, both men and women need to have similar legal, property, social, and political rights. Now, most Western societies currently are in generation 4 or generation 3 uh, neutrality levels. Many of the mm, Asian and Arabic countries are still fighting to reach to a generation 3 uh, maturity level. Now, fourth is the what we are going to discuss in this presentation is about sexual and gender attitudes. So it believes that men and women can have diverse sexual or gender attitudes regardless of their biological gender. So now why generation 4 neutrality is so important? Well, uh, it removes the biological association of sexual and gender attitudes. So this is a very important point that we need to acknowledge. Now, it believes that sexual or gender attitudes are shaped by psychological, social, and cultural factors rather than biological factors. So, many of the most laws, social and political movements are based on the assumption that the biological men are sexually demanding, dominating, and aggressive, while biological women are modest in sexual demands, compliant, and caring. Now, this may be true in certain societies, in certain class, or certain era, but now, since men and women are beginning to get similar rights, they are facing similar competitive challenges in their workplaces. Uh, they have similar, both people from both sexes are working hard towards their physical fitness. The traits are becoming quite common in men as well as women. So that's why Generation 4 neutrality is important, and we really need to acknowledge these traits and see how best we can accommodate people from diverse traits. So, how Generation 4 sexual attitudes are defined? Again, I'm not a social scientist, I'm not a sexologist, or a medical practitioner. There will be many people who are working in this area and they can really throw some light on it. Uh, However, I'm just putting a quick segregation table below. So I'm proposing two primary sexual attitudes or traits. First is purple sex trait and second is light blue sex trait. So purple sex trait, it can be present in both biological men or women. Similarly, light blue sex trait can be present uh, in both biological men or women. So purple sex trait people with this trait tend to associate sense of personal social achievements, or a business value, sense of victory, sense of patriotism to their sexual activity, while people with light blue sex attitude associate personal relation or a sense of feeling to their sexual activity. Now, purple sex trait people are generally more willing and open to sex, while light blue sex people are maybe open but are very rarely willing, or if they are willing only on a specific conditions to any sort of sexual activity. Now, is generation 4 neutrality a new concept? No, there are numerous historical examples where people demonstrated attitudes quite contrary to their biological gender. Just give few examples. The lady in the picture you see is Queen Catherine the Great of Russia. She demonstrated many masculine uh, behavioral traits like aggression, domination, and had many men sexual partners similar to concubines of kings in the contemporary period. While the picture you see is Swami Vivekananda, uh, and he, along with many other saints or mm, uh, ascetics, demonstrated a um, very self-restrained sexual behavior. Uh, and so, when Swami Vivekananda was resting, uh, a young beautiful woman came to him and said, "I want to mother a son like you." Now, Swamiji said that you can consider that I am your son. So this was his attitude towards uh, self-restraining attitude towards sex, which is very often seen in women in many parts of the world. Now, I am having a mind of a woman while you have a mind of a man. This is what Swami Vivekananda wrote once to Sister Nivedita in one of his letters. So, what needs to be done about Generation 4 gender neutrality? There needs to be a greater awareness about Generation 4 gender neutrality. Following table shows important actions that are required. So I'm actually classifying it into biological men and biological women, and those are further segregated as purple sex and light blue sex. So people from biological men who show purple sex trait, these are most often the stereotypical men in most societies. So, education is required uh, so that they can effectively deal with light blue sex uh, colleagues, friends, family members, uh, or relationship partners. Similarly, for biological women with purple sex, now very few women show this trait, or even if they do have these tendencies, very few societies are willing to accept them, so they need to restrain themselves. So they need to be trained to make sure that they are able to make effective social adjustment to fulfill their needs without hurting the light blue sex people. Uh, Maybe appropriate social reforms are required, as many societies may not permit this behavior. So again, this is an area where probably we all need to think and work to make this a place inclusive for everyone. Now, third category is biological men showing light blue sex attitude. Again, these are non-stereotypical men in many societies, and they may see some sort of isolation, since I mean these are not very common examples. So they need to have training to deal effectively with their purple sex friends, colleagues, family members, relationship partners, and so on and so forth. Similarly, they need to be trained to use their social, legal, and political rights effectively. Now, biological woman with light blue colored sex attitude. Uh, this is again a stereotypical woman in most societies, and they need to be trained to use their social, legal, and political rights effectively. They need to be trained to deal with the purple sex effectively. So this is what I could think of. I'm putting forward this presentation primarily to start an open thinking on this, more open discussion on this topic. I welcome suggestions. I welcome your thoughts. I welcome your criticism on what has been discussed. So, if you have liked this video, please comment below or share it with your friends and colleagues, and let's have this thought process going. Thank you.